Have you ever stopped and wondered what really goes into creating that perfect, totally effortless vacation? I'm not just talking about for one person, but for millions. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the biggest names in all-inclusive travel and reveal the incredible, hidden blueprint they use to engineer your ideal escape.
We all know the picture, right? That crystal clear water, the white sand beaches, just pure relaxation. For decades, Sandals has absolutely mastered the art of the dream Caribbean vacation. I mean, they've built a whole empire on the promise of paradise. But here's where it gets tricky. Perfection, well, that's personal. My idea of a perfect getaway is probably completely different from yours. So how does a massive company like this solve that puzzle at scale? How do they make sure you get the vacation you actually want? The answer, it turns out, is a fascinating system that goes way, way deeper than just picking a pretty spot on a map.
Okay, so let's dive into the first part of the strategy. And here's the thing. It doesn't start with the islands. It starts with you. Sandals doesn't just look at guests by age or where they're from. They actually profile you based on your vacation personality. They want to know who you are as a traveler. It all kicks off with questions just like this one, which is straight from their internal training materials. See, they're not just asking where you've been. They're digging into the why. What's the feeling you're really chasing? What are those moments that you truly remember? This is not just small talk, folks. These very personal insights, that's the raw data that fuels their entire system. And this slide right here perfectly shows what they do with those answers. They build these archetypes. So are you an ultra-romantic recluse, someone who really wants that over-the-water bungalow and total privacy? Or are you a social butterfly, looking for those high-energy pools, the late-night bars, and a chance to meet other couples? By figuring out your vacation DNA, they can go from a vague idea to a super specific recommendation. And this is where the system gets really smart, almost predictive. A social butterfly who wants a party atmosphere and lots of nightlife isn't just sent to any resort. No, they are specifically matched with a property like Sandals Montego Bay or Ochi, places that are known for having that exact high-energy vibe. It's a data-driven match, and it's all designed to guarantee you get the experience you're looking for. But look, figuring out your personality, that's just step one. The next layer of this whole blueprint is a set of internal, operational rules that guide the entire decision-making process. And these are rules that are completely invisible to us, the public. This slide basically peels back the curtain on the hidden matrix running behind the scenes. We're looking at their 2026 resort logic rules. So you see the Jamaica refresh. What that means is if your trip is before May 30th, 2026, the system automatically guides you away from resorts that are being renovated. Or check out the Barbados double deal. The system knows to point you to Royal Barbados for a modern, high-action vibe, or to the classic Sandals Barbados if you'd rather have lush gardens and maybe a better value. It's all this calculated logic just to make sure you have a seamless experience. But this logic isn't just about avoiding problems, it's also a really powerful tool for promotion. For 2026, for example, the new St. Vincent Resort is flagged as the star. So if your profile happens to match keywords like luxury, foodie, and brand new, guess where the system is designed to funnel you? Directly to its newest flagship property. This makes sure their biggest investments get the right kind of attention right out of the gate. Okay, so let's move on to the final piece of the puzzle and see how this all comes together. The complex system that manages how these perfectly matched vacations actually get booked and handled. It's an entire ecosystem, and it's designed for total flexibility. I guess Journey to Paradise can start from a bunch of different places. You might book directly on the website, or maybe you rebook your next trip while you're still on vacation. But here's the thing. A huge chunk of bookings still comes through traditional travel agencies. The system has to be able to handle all of these channels without a single hiccup.
And this is where the system's design is just so clever. Let's say you book online, but a week later you decide, you know what, I'd rather have a travel agent handle all the details. The internal booking transfer guidelines lay out a super specific process for this. You, the guest, just have to send an email to authorize the transfer, and that allows an agent to take over your booking. It's a structured path that pulls their independent partners right into their ecosystem, making sure you get a consistent experience no matter how you book.
So, when you put all these pieces together, the archetypes, the hidden logic roles, and this flexible booking system, you start to see that the effortless escape is anything but accidental. It's really a masterful blend of art and science. So, the main takeaway here is this: that amazing feeling of showing up and having everything be just right, of being in a place that just gets you, that is not magic. It is the end product of a highly sophisticated, data-driven strategy that's been designed from the ground up to feel completely invisible. So the hidden blueprint, when you boil it down, is simple but incredibly powerful. First, it figures out your unique traveler archetype. Second, it applies a set of invisible logic rules to narrow down your options based on what's happening right now. And third, it manages the whole thing through a complex but super flexible booking ecosystem. The goal of this entire machine is to produce just one thing, a vacation that feels completely and perfectly effortless. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought. We often think of choosing a vacation as this big emotional decision, based on pretty pictures. But as we've just seen, behind those pictures can be this incredibly intricate system of psychology, logic, and strategy. So the next time an ad or a recommendation pops up that seems just perfect for you, you might ask yourself, is this just a good suggestion, or am I seeing the beautiful result of a hidden blueprint?